found the perfect game to play in an urban environment in a wintertime setting such as this. It's Max Payne from Rockstar Games for the Game Boy Advance. Amazing job of converting this very dark, gritty, film noir type video game from the consoles and the PC to this handy-dandy little portable. Max looks really cool. He's all decked out like a tough New York City cop. He's got double handguns. He's got Uzi. He's got a shotgun. You can actually go into slow motion and have Max jump and dive and fire and take care of all kinds of bad guys all around him. They actually have a lot of the same environments from the console and PC version, and in those environments you can actually interact with different things. You can turn on taps and you can walk up to television sets and radios and turn those on too. The storyline actually follows the exact same one that people played on the PC and the other consoles. And what's really interesting about this is they actually put voiceovers into the game. You've got 30 minutes of speech on this cartridge. If you like Max Payne before, you got to get it for the road. Max Payne on the Game Boy Advance rocks. 9.5 out of 10. Okay, we're back and we're going to be talking about... What are you doing? Don't look in there. We're going to be talking about a gruesome new game from Rockstar. It's called Manhunt, and it's for the PlayStation 2.
It smells like dead people.
All right, okay. What? Oh, gross, man. What did you think of Manhunt?
You remember the movie Seven?
Yes.
Remember the movie 12 Monkeys?
Yes.
Very disturbing.
Dark.
That's what this game is.
If you're going to pull movies, actually, I would say it's closer to The Running Man and a snuff film, because that's really what the context of this...
The Running Man.
The Running Man, because you start off as this criminal that
Yes.
has been killed, officially killed,
Yes.
and then the criminal wakes up and he realizes that he's inside of this game, and what he's got to do is not get killed by all these hunters that are out looking for him. And he's got a little earpiece on, and he's got this crazy director that's actually filming this guy's progression through this blood sport. He's encouraging him to kill the hunters in as many gruesome ways as he can imagine.
These streets are being patrolled by gangs. They're scum, just like you. And they're here to hunt you down and cut you up.
There's this whole stealth factor involved, so depending on how, soft or hard you're pushing on the stick is how soft or hard the guy is walking. So it's all about the sound you make. And what's interesting about this game, it's not required, but it is optional. You can use the headset and you can use your voice and say, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah.
And then he comes around and then you go around the back to kill him.
What you described as the gameplay, that's it. That's the whole thing. You go to a dark area where they can't see you, and the AI is dumb enough that they'll walk right up to you and just automatically stop and turn around.
Well, that's because it's too dark.
Well, whatever. They turn around right there. Perfect placement for you to come up with your crowbar or your glass shard or your plastic bag or your baseball bat. Ultimately, it just becomes repetitive and boring.
It's one of the scariest video games.
It's also one of the most depraved video games I've ever played as well.
How do you mean depraved?
Well, you're being urged to kill these people again and again, and if you're wearing the headset,
what game doesn't?
Yeah, but this is like over the top. I mean,
you ever play Quake?
Yeah, but this is a different thing. Blood will spurt right under the camera. And guys' heads will pop. You can actually decapitate somebody with razor wire.
It does it in a way where it is kind of
it's too realistic.
Artistic and realistic.
But that just made me feel sick.
I understand how it could have done that. But to give it points off for that,
well, I have to,
right.
but also because it gets repetitious. It got boring just looking for the next gruesome thing. And then you see the same animations over and over again. And the other thing I didn't like were the controls.
But I gotta say that the audio in this game
great.
Really brought it to a next level.
It's a mediocre game with a great level of polish. 5.5 out of 10.
It's way too low. They've done something here that no one has ever done in a video game before. I'm giving them points for that. I'm giving it an 8. On the positive side, it has some of the best disturbing and uneasy and scariest scenes you've ever seen in a game. The sound design is absolutely incredible. And if you're into these mature rated games with tons of death and violence, this one's going to be right up your alley.
On the negative side, the killing gets repetitive very quickly. We had lots of problems with the controls of the game. And if you don't have an appetite for lots of gory killing in your video games, stay away from this one. Today in hardware, we've got a brand new device that's supposed to make life better for all of you first-person shooter fans out there. So people that are playing Halo or Max Payne or something on their Xbox might want to check out the first-person shooter master.
First of all, I like the look of it because it's actually two gun handles.
That's very clever.
That you hold on to,
yeah.
And the triggers are actually, you know, part of the gun trigger.
Right.
And the other thing is that the two analog sticks are now positioned in the same exact spot,
right.
Whereas on all the other Xbox controllers, they're like offset. It also has a really cool LED screen, which is pretty useless, but looks nice in the dark.
You can actually have preset on the button choices that you want. It'll tell you which preset button configuration is in there.
And to be clear, you have your thumbs on here, your triggers on here, and then these two, which are down on the grips of the gun,
right.
are your X, Y, A, B buttons.
Right, and the start and the back button are below the left thumbstick, and the black and white buttons are below the right thumbstick.
Didn't you find it better that, like, even when you're playing a game like Halo,
right.
You never have to take your fingers off the thumbsticks? So you can constantly be running
and shooting. Right.
That's why I like this thing.
I'm going to recommend it with an asterisk.
On the positive side, they put the buttons on the grip so you never have to take your thumbs off the analog sticks. The analog sticks are positioned and aligned on the same spot on both sides of the controller, and the controller actually looks like two guns.
On the negative side, the analog thumbsticks from the regular Microsoft controller are a little bit better than these, and it's going to take you some time to get used to playing with this controller because the buttons on the grips is totally different. Stick around, we're going to get cleaned up here and be right back with a look at Counter-Strike and SOCOM 2.